Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Манай нэвтрүүлгүүд олон хэлээр гардаг зочлог хаяг suprememastertv.com/schedule.
On March 23, 2021, the giant container ship Ever Given ran aground and blocked the Suez Canal, the key waterway between the Mediterranean and Red Seas. The incident made international headlines in all major media for over a week and drew global attention. The Suez Canal, connecting the world through trade. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, 'cause heaven see everything. Heavens know everything.
Cherished viewers, تشرفنا بك. That's welcome in Libyan Arabic, a phrase you will hear often from the friendly citizens of the state of Libya. Amjadallah, compassionate Libya joins you in giving thanks to the life-sustaining earth. May she be forever protected and blessed. Welcome to our program, The Suez Canal, Connecting the World Through Trade. On March 23, 2021, the giant container ship Ever Given ran aground and blocked the Suez Canal, the key waterway between the Mediterranean and Red Seas. The incident made international headlines in all major media for over a week and drew global attention. After the event, more than 360 vessels waited to pass through the canal, a maritime traffic jam that not only worried the Egyptians, as the canal is a major resource for their economy, but also held up at least $9 billion in trade per day and caused the world to fear a tight supply of oil as the market reacted considerably. The international benchmark futures for Brent crude oil increased 3% at one point on March 24th, and crude futures for May deliveries went up 5% in New York. Consumers were also impacted due to the blockage, which delayed parts and raw materials such as cotton from India, petroleum from the Middle East, and auto parts from China. The integrated logistics company Maersk estimated that even after clearance of the vessel, it would take 6 days for the queue that developed to make its way through the canal, and 15 vessels had to be rerouted via the Cape of Good Hope as a result of the disruption. In their statement to customers, the company said,
"The blockage has already triggered a series of further disruptions and backlogs in global shipping that could take weeks, possibly months to unravel."
Assessments were made, and experts said that such a rare incident would have an enormous impact on global trade. Since traveling the alternative route between Europe and Asia would take at least an extra week, ships on both sides had to decide whether to wait for clearance of the passage or go around Africa. The extra 10,000 kilometers around the Cape of Good Hope would cost at least $300,000 for tankers carrying crude oil and petroleum products. So how did the Suez Canal come about? Who built it? And why did its blockage cause such a major disruption and generate a global sensation? Let's take a closer look at the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is a human-made waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. The canal extends 193 kilometers in length from the northern terminus of Port Said to the southern terminus in the city of Suez. Owned and operated by the Suez Canal Authority, the canal took 10 years to build and officially opened in November 1869. It facilitated commercial shipping and became a direct route for ships traveling from the North Atlantic to the Indian Ocean without having to circumnavigate Africa around the Cape of Good Hope, which was the previous shortest marine route. From ancient times, people always wanted to connect the Mediterranean and Red Seas. As early as 2000 BC, a series of small canals were used to link the Nile River to the Red Sea as an extension from the Mediterranean Sea. However, the misconception that the two seas were at different levels of altitude made it seem impossible to create a direct path. Thus, overland routes, which required the use of horse-drawn vehicles and later trains, were the only alternative. Great Britain, which conducted trade with India and Pakistan, was a frequent user of this route. In the 1830s, Louis Maurice Adolphe Linot de Belfond brought up the idea of a direct route. As a French explorer and engineer who specialized in Egypt, he did a survey to disprove the popular belief that the two seas were at different altitudes and confirmed the contrary, making the construction foreseeable and feasible. Then in the 1850s, His Excellency Mohammed Said Pasha, Wali of Egypt and Sudan, granted French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps permission to create a company, later known as the Suez Canal Company, to build a canal. The company was given a 99-year lease over the waterway and surrounding area.
I recognized that man has neither the claws of the tiger nor the jaws of the lion, but rather among all animals, according to its whole organization, comes closest to the great apes, which essentially feed on fruits. Gustave Struve, vegetarian.
Admirable viewers, we'll now pause for a moment to hear a brief message and return shortly. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program on the Suez Canal. During its first 2 years of operation, traffic through the canal was less than expected, which resulted in financial problems for the owners of the Suez. In 1870, the canal's first full year of operation, it was reported that only 486 transits, fewer than 2 per day, were made. In 1875, Khedive of Egypt, His Excellency Ismail Pasha, and others had to sell their stocks to Great Britain. However, France remained the majority shareholder. As of today, an average of 50 ships navigate the canal daily, carrying more than 300 million tons of goods per year. Before the Suez Crisis of 1956, Egyptian President His Excellency Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the canal, where at that time 2/3 of Europe's oil passed through. This precipitated a conflict with Israel, France, and Great Britain, which in the end Egypt won. Since 1962, after Egypt paid the Suez Canal Company in full, the canal has been owned and operated by the Suez Canal Authority, or SCA, a state-owned company. The canal had always accommodated only one-way traffic until August 2015, when a 35-kilometer expansion was built parallel to the main channel. The main channel was also deepened so that larger ships could pass. This project was launched by Egyptian President His Excellency Abdul Fattah al-Sisi to boost Egypt's economy. Before the expansion, ships had to yield in a passing bay so that those coming from the opposite direction could pass. For many years, the transit time through the canal averaged 40 hours but was reduced to 13 hours in 1947 when a system of convoys was created. How did the container ship, the Ever Given, manage to block the Suez Canal in March 2021? The Ever Given is 400-meter long, 59-meter wide, and more than 200,000 tons in weight. It was built in 2018 and is operated by the Taiwanese or Formosan transport company Evergreen Marine. The Ever Given was at that time carrying 18,300 containers with a maximum capacity of 20,000 containers. The ship was heading from China to the port city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands, sailing northward in the canal when it ran aground and got stuck sideways across the water, blocking the path for vessels heading in both directions. Later, Evergreen Marine said it suspected the ship had been hit by a sudden strong wind, causing the hull to deviate, and it accidentally hit the bottom and ran aground. However, the Egyptian authorities suggested that the accident could have been due to human error and that the Ever Given had been traveling faster than the speed limit before it ran aground. To free the grounded giant Ever Given, the SCA, along with international salvage teams, sent out a fleet of tugboats, dredgers, and diggers. After 6 days of rescuers working around the clock, digging, tugging, pulling, and sucking sand and mud, the ship was finally set free thanks to the extra power of nature, the rising tide, which added a few inches of water inside the canal. The ship was pushed and pulled into the water along with the tide and was set free at 3 p.m. local time on March 29th. It was reported that workers had removed 30,000 cubic meters of sand, which is equivalent to a dozen Olympic-sized swimming pools. This single blockage caused unexpected delays and economic losses for countries in remote parts of the world, affecting lives millions of miles away. Perhaps the event will serve as an epiphany for humanity that each component, factor, or detail, either large or small, contributes to the wellness of the whole. As Supreme Master Ching Hai says,
"Because we are all one, there's no differentiating where the problem will break out. So if somebody do some bad things here, the problem might break out elsewhere. Just like your face is more sensitive. So if your digestion system is not good, you have pimples all over your face. Yeah? And sometimes you eat something in your mouth, but your liver has problems. You see that? Yes, Master. And sometimes you just have a cut here, yeah? Or somebody has a cut here, but then he has infection elsewhere.
The incident at the Suez Canal makes us ruminate about the fact that the blockage of one waterway has an impact on the world as a whole. Similarly, COVID-19 began in one area and spread to the whole world. As we live in an increasingly interconnected global community, it's high time we learn to live in harmony while respecting, loving, and helping one another. What affects one affects all.
Vegan, cost-free lawyer for the animal people.
Progressive viewers, we are grateful for your company today during the Suez Canal, connecting the world through trade. Up next is Shining World Compassion Award recipient Anika Burin, supporting animal people welfare with native trees. Through heaven's blessings, may all inhabitants of our planet soon enjoy bountiful health and peaceful well-being.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/CTAW.